the most comments tonight
You want to do
wins.
that?
What is it? A 4-pack of the
I think that's good.
fight?
I don't think that's going to work out well.
Ring Warriors. What hotel is it at?
From Las Vegas, this is the Sports Adrenaline Show. The Vegas Golden Knights and Wild Bill Carlson are apparently millions of dollars apart. The two sides perhaps headed into Saturday's arbitration hearing. UNLV football hitting the field this week. Friday morning, fall camp opens. The NBA makes MGM Resorts International its very first gaming partner. Is a Las Vegas NBA franchise not far behind. The WNBA Las Vegas Aces returned to the court last night, and it was a clunker following the All-Star break. News from the Raider Nation, the Khalil Mack impasse continues. The Las Vegas Lights are back home this weekend, and they are prepared for a very long August homestand. And yes, we have news about Tiger and Phil. $10 million, the showdown, reportedly a deal's been struck. They're going to play here in Las Vegas at Shadow Creek Thanksgiving weekend. Tony Cardasco, John Castagnino, Matt Gutierrez. Haley Brooks is here with Haley's comments. Luis Negretti, MIA, and Rich Giacovino producing this extravaganza.
I have issues.
We know.
I have issues already.
Nobody's surprised by this.
Okay. So we do what's called the rundown on the show, right? You can see it on, shoot, I knew I was going to screw that up, on that side of the screen, right? Rundown. Now, we didn't have one, early this afternoon, so I said, hey, what's our rundown? And I gave a list. I wanted to start out with the NBA deal, then go into the Golden Knights, and then the Raiders, and then UNLV football. And then all of a sudden, 4 hours later, I thought it was decided. Tony just, it's like, oh, no, we're doing this. So you'll have to wait if you want to talk about the NBA MGM deal. I had it all sorted out. TV guy. Apparently I'm wrong. And we'll just talk about what Tony wants to talk about the whole time. So, fine.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Wow.
This is
Let's get the comments started.
This is an extravaganza.
Let's get the comments going.
So Haley tonight is going to be tasked with selecting the best comments on our Facebook page. So 2 winners, each receiving 4 packs of tickets for next week's Ring Warriors wrestling event at Sam's Town, August the 8th and 9th. And so, Haley, you're going to have your work cut out with this crew tonight.
Woohoo!
Are you
We're
ready
doing
to roll?
most comments or best comments?
This is your show.
Yeah.
Or at least this portion of it is yours.
I made the rundown today, too.
Thank you so much for
whatever
inviting
you want
us
to do.
your show.
You
Thank you
dictate
very
the
much.
rules with the 4-pack of tickets.
I'll do one of each.
Okay. Well.
Best comments, most comments.
I feel like, we only have, a few people watching now. We're probably going to need to re-announce this multiple times throughout the show.
Yes.
Okay.
We're
okay with that. You got it.
So that's funny seeing
Context.
Haley against Haley on the screen. That's
Haley's name's first on the rundown.
Yes. Do you have any more comments to make before we proceed? I don't want to cut you off.
Say
Haley.
something
No,
about
it's
Tony.
going great.
No,
No,
say
it's
something
going
about
great.
Tony.
Your shirt is blue.
Thank you. It's so sweet of you.
Wow, she brought her A game today, folks. I'm really excited about this show.
And thanks for the postcard from Barstow. And so we begin tonight in the knighthood.
Jokes. Nobody
Inside
knows what
joke.
you're
It's
talking
okay.
about.
It's okay.
None.
She stopped at the McDonald's in Barstow.
Everybody
So
does.
William Carlson, he of the 43-goal season, is apparently heading into arbitration on Saturday, as I predicted a long time ago, John Castanino. So today, Chris Johnston from Sportsnet, NHL Network, everything Canadian hockey related, reported that the salary arbitration filings were as such. So Carlson is asking for $6.5 million. My guess was $6 million for Bill. VGK $3.5 million. And my VGK prediction was $3 million. Made those predictions right there on our radio show and our vast entertainment network. And so I'm thinking that the arbiter will say $4 million, Bill, call it a day, 1 or 2 years. That's quadruple the amount of money that Wild Bill Carlson made a season ago.
You can't deny the 43 goals, right? You can't deny. If there was a guy, don't have my facts. Should have wrote it down. There's a guy, arbitration the day before. Ottawa Senators scored 19 points last year, wants, I think, $5 million in arbitration. It might be even more than that, and the team ceiling is like $3 million. So it's ridiculous. You've got a 19-point guy, who knows how many goals he scored, then Carlson with 43 goals. They're going to split the difference. This is historically what they typically do in the NHL. They're going to go right down the middle. It's going to be $5 million. And personally, I'm hoping it's 2 years at $5 million. I don't think William Carlson wants that.
It
The
won't
team
be 2
might
years.
want that.
No.
It's probably not going to be.
Here's
I
why.
understand.
Here's why they won't do 2 years is because Carlson will be 26 in January. So when this coming season ends, he'll be 26. He can't yet become an unrestricted free agent. Doesn't have enough time in, and he's not old enough. You have to be 27 or have 7 years of service in the NHL to become an unrestricted free agent. So if you do it for 1 year, then you still have negotiating rights with Carlson after the 2018-19 season. So if they do 1 year, then they can still negotiate with him and maybe go, okay, let's see if this is a prove-it year. Now we'll negotiate with you long term, because once that following season is up, then he can be an unrestricted free agent. He can go wherever he wants. Okay. And he'll be so much more expensive than he is right now.
So can both teams settle in the 11th hour? That could happen right before arbitration. It has happened before.
If the Knights want to save $1, I think they need to lock him up long term. Here's the thing, Tony, is you have to decide whether or not you feel that William Carlson is going to be a top-line center for the next 6 years. Is his play on the ice going to be worthy of being a top-line center for 6 more years? If you think it is, then you lock him up now. If you think this 1 year was the absolute pinnacle of what he could do and he's never even going to come close to that, then have a little show-me year in this next season. But what's to say that he can't be that type of player? This is the first opportunity he's been giving to show that he can be that player, and you saw what he could do.
And, of course, I'm a businessman who says the 1 year plan, 1 year deal would work for me, because I want to see if he could prove that he will be a consistent force in the NHL. We don't know that.
But if he does, what is it going to cost you? He's asking 6.5 now.
That's fine.
What does it cost you if he has another, let's say, 35 to 40 goal season in this upcoming year?
Yeah, but
you're not paying 6.5.
He's not worth it right now.
But you won't be paying 6.5.
So fine,
that 6.5 goes up to near 10. That's what's going to happen. That's going to jump to 8.5, 9 million,
$10
maybe
million
even 10.
player. Mark my words. He will never be. William Carlson will never be a $10 million player.
The market will dictate what he's worth. And if guys around him are making that
Salary
kind of money from
up.
lesser numbers, then yes, he will be a 10 million guy if he repeats a season like
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Especially if he has another year like that. Now you're talking about, and I would guess George McPhee is gambling here a little bit. I would not be surprised if it did go to arbitration. I think I've said that since the beginning, to take a page out of Cordasco's book. Yeah, go back shows 3 weeks. I think it's going to arbitration, and I don't think Carlson can get upset about this. You know, some players do. There's precedent where a team has not made a case in arbitration. The Nashville Predators did it with not Shea Theodore. It's another Shea. Shea Weber? I'm not sure.
Shea Weber.
But they didn't even make a case. They said, we don't want to, get Shea pissed off, for lack of a better way to put it. So they didn't put up a case. They just left it up to the arbiter. You're talking about a guy that made $1 million last year. He's going to make probably 4 or 5. So I don't think Carlson's going to be angry, for lack of a better way to put it here. So it buys McPhee some time, and he is taking a gamble. We've said this over and over again. Mm-hmm. If he gives up 40 goals, he's got to eat his humble pie and pay the man his money. And it could be $10 million a year.
Yeah, and it's if he has another top-flight season, it's going to cost the Knights a lot more than it would if they locked him up for 6 years right now.
So currently, there is still $13 million left in cap space room. So you pay the $4 million, I say, to Carlson, and then you have $8 or $9 million for Erik Carlson.
It's not going to be 4. It's going to be more than 4. There's no way that they're going to go on the low end after a 43-goal season.
So 44 players, John, they filed for arbitration this year in the NHL. And last year, there were 30 restricted agents who filed for arbitration. VGK defenseman Nate Schmidt, we talked about this before, the only player to have his salary determined by the arbiter, and he won the hearing at $2.25 million a year, when VGK offered $975,000. For some reason, and I've stated this a number of times, the arbiter will not rule favorably for a player, like 90% of the time. So to me, it's going to be on the lower end of that spectrum. I don't think that the arbitrator or the arbiter, or whatever we want to call him, is going to split this down the middle. That's just my own personal opinion, and I just smashed my mic. But
I already gave you my facts earlier, and I'm looking it up right there. Stone, is it Stone? There's a couple players. There's 2 players.
Mark Stone?
Well, he's one. He's not the one that scored 19 points last year. The Senators have 2 players going to arbitration. Stone, I believe, is the better of the two. I told you the guy that scored 19 points wants the team floor was $3 million. And his higher floor was somewhere around 5. So, again, I don't know if they segment these. Each player's different. I get that, right? But if you're going to give a guy that scored 19 points $4 million, you're probably going to give William Carlson $5 million.
And that's what I'm talking about. The market is going to dictate what Carlson's worth. So if right now his camp is saying, hey, we're worth $6.5 million, when guys that aren't even close, he scored 78 points. Guys that aren't even at the 25-point mark are going to make $4 or $5 million. Then you got to figure $6.5 million for a 78-point guy is a steal. If you lock him up for 6 years at that, I think that's a steal because, again, if he has another top season, it's going to cost you a lot more.
So I found it. It's Cody Cece. He's a defenseman. So that's the problem there. So I just ruined my whole argument. He only had 16 points, but 19 points. He's a defenseman. $3.35 million is the low end. Cece asking for $6 million. So never mind. I suck.
So VGK can either
comment
accept
away.
the arbiter's ruling.
Defenseman. Sorry, I just saw points and I was like, how's he going to get $3 million?
So VGK can either accept the arbiter's ruling or walk away, making Carlson an unrestricted free agent. We'll see what the number is on Saturday. But I don't know that they're going to come to a deal if they're that far apart by Saturday. There's no way, right? What about Shea Theodore? You know, you mentioned his name, John. His name has been lost in the news.
It has.
You also
set him up.
I think he also mentioned Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
what happened?
House of
Yeah, that
Horrors.
was bad. That was bad. So what is becoming of Theodore? What is his contract status? I mean, he's headed to arbitration too, right?
Yeah, where is Shea? I mean, is this still a sit and wait for the Erik Karlsson situation here? Like you mentioned, we haven't heard Shea Theodore's name in over a month now. And, I mean, for that matter, we haven't heard Erik Karlsson's name in 3 or 4 weeks.
I'm going backwards here. So Stone, I mentioned him. I don't know. For argument's sake, it's just these are odd. Mark Stone, 26, 62 points in 58 games. So, right, you had a great rate there. He's asking for 9. The Senators are countering at 5. And this is a young player here, so it's just these numbers are just so odd. I don't know what Stone's been doing previously, but, you know, that's high. It seems like the money is going to the players now, Tony, with the increasing salary cap. Again, I think that Carlson's going to get the better end of this deal.
Or else he'll have to be on.
Shea Theodore.
Or else he's going to have to send his girlfriend back to work on The Bachelor in Paradise coming up on ABC this summer.
If it's not a car chase or The Bachelorette or Bachelor, whichever show it is, Tony's not interested.
That's right. The Vegas Golden Knights have announced that
I need a break.
they have a Junior Knights or Little Knights program
that's
now being funded by the D Hotel and Casino. It will be offered at ice rinks throughout the valley. So this will be one of the progression stages of youth hockey, of the development. Learn to skate, learn to play, learn to whine like John, and then onto the youth hockey program. And then,
well, at least it's not you out there. I think whining's okay as opposed to just negativity and overall doom and gloom, you know. Haley.
Hailstorm.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Hale?
Nothing. I'm just hanging out over here in comment world.
Land?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do we got?
Comment Land.
Did somebody fact check me? I feel a little embarrassed. I have had a hell of a day.
No,
I'm a little extra punchy today, in case you can't tell.
If they
Are
fact
you?
check John,
Yeah.
then they must win something. You know.
No, there's not too much going on. Justin Howard gave us a Go Knights Go. Woo. Mike Grant said hello. So there's that. That's most of the excitement.
Those are two of the better comments.
And then
thus far.
Tracy Hibden, when you guys were talking about Carlson, he said, "Pay the man greater than
Yeah.
greater than greater than question mark question mark question mark."
Is that the leader for best?
How many words in that?
Oh no, those are
sentence?
symbols. Those are the symbols of it.
Greater than.
And then he also said, he followed up, well, like you said, it's a negotiation. They go low, he goes high, and they meet in the middle. And then he made another comment that puts him in the lead. So.
Again, people are joining us late, Haley, so we've got a giveaway.
Yes.
What's the giveaway?
The giveaway is for the most comments tonight, and then best comment of the night. We have 4-pack of Ring Warrior tickets for this weekend at Sam's Town. So
Next week, the
next
8th and
week,
9th.
8th. Wasn't today's
Close
the
enough.
2nd.
Fact check.
8th and 9th.
What's 2 plus 7? Yep.
Yeah.
Next weekend. Today's Thursday.
Weekend?
You are right.
Is the weekend on a Thursday?
Yep.
Oh,
Where is the
millennials.
weekend?
but the weekend begins on Thursday now. So
4-day
I
work
wish.
week. It's better for you.
back to the news. Back to the news. So the Golden Knights road trip, it starts on Sunday. Now my days are all confused. So that is the weekend, right?
It's just one long day.
That's Sunday
point.
Fun Day, right?
That's all
Kelly?
it is.
So it starts on Sunday and runs through August the 10th. Such scenic stops as in Reno and Boise. Boise's actually cool.
Boise's
Jackson Hole.
lovely. You said it right, Boise. All are Idahoans. That's probably wrong.
How are you supposed to say it? Is there another
It's
way?
Boise.
Oh, yeah.
Just like it's
Boise.
Calgary.
Yeah, Calgary, Boise. Yeah, I still call it Boise. And then Salt Lake.
And Jack Hole. You got to get this right. Jack Hole. That's what
God.
us Wyomingites, right? If you're from Wyoming, I know that you're a Wyomingite.
Really?
But we called it Jack Hole. I don't know if that's correct, but Jackson Hole, Jack Hole.
That's
So real quick, just,
sounds flagrant.
Yeah, get back to something important.
No, it's
Real
this. What's the point of the road trip? Who in these cities is
Or
just
were you saving this
is
for
just
this week instead of last week?
pining? Is just pining for hockey. Like, how many of those people out there, like, you know what would be great if the Golden Knights drove a big fat bus through our city for 5 minutes and waved hello? I'm just curious. Where do they go with this?
There is factual basis to this. We had Kerry Buboltz come into the UNLV studios, right? We had a VGK special. He talked about how the Golden Knights were the #1 kind of, I don't know, interacted franchise worldwide.
But let's
50
be honest,
countries.
that had absolutely nothing
There's-
to do with the
there's
road
no,
trip.
There's no hockey
It
team.
had
But the-
zero
Can you let me make a point, or are you just going
to
interrupt
do
me?
with the
What-
road. I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
It had zero to do with that road trip. Go ahead. Keep throwing your
Our
numbers
smart
out.
viewers know where I'm going here.
Yeah.
People love the Golden Knights across the country. Why not get in a bus? When I worked in Texas,
You wanna get in a bus?
The San Antonio Spurs would travel all over the state. Huge state, granted, but they brought the NBA titles down to the Rio Grande Valley.
San Antonio's
They
in
had
what
a
state? Texas. They traveled around what
Viewing
state?
area. Viewing
Texas.
area.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
You can't win this.
Not
So-
Nevada.
You can't win
Boise, or however you want to say it, not Nevada.
You can't win
They're
this.
not traveling through Nevada.
Somebody
other
back
than to
me up.
leave Nevada.
Some other news about VGK. The rookie face-off, rookie teams representing 6 teams. That's going to happen. And it's a really cool concept. So you've got the Golden Knights. They'll be hosting this here in Las Vegas in September, the 8th or the 11th. There's just plenty of hockey and a lot more to sustain, the organization throughout the off season now. A lot of events, and of course that Ballyhooed road trip is coming up that Matt enjoys. And
Can't wait.
and so the games that they're going to play in the rookie showdown, face-off, or whatever they're going to call it, will be at City National at the arena. And so you got the Kings, the Ducks, the Coyotes, the Colorado Avalanche, and the San Jose Sharks. So it's a pretty good concept.
Sorry, are you talking about the MLB blackout teams? You were listing all the teams. I'm thinking the Dodgers,
I
the
just-
Angels,
yeah.
the
The entire
Giants,
West
the
Coast.
Yeah.
A's, the Diamondbacks.
Right?
I just had, the Padres.
So,
we always forget about the Padres.
well, most people do. So explain this. The MLB,
Tangent.
yeah, the MLB gets on Mike Trout about not doing enough to grow the game, right? Not being a large enough spokesman and being out in front to help Major League Baseball.
How is he going to
be more
help the
popular.
rookie game here?
Well, here's my question is
We're talking
how
rookie
can
face-off,
you
no?
how can you complain about that when when you don't even allow an entire city to see any of your games because they're within 250 miles of a ballpark? MLB has some serious issues.
All right.
Back to your
Let's
rookie
go back
face-off.
let's go back
Good
to
point.
Haley.
Dynamite.
Let's
Matt.
check in
That's
with
why you're
Haley.
the best of us.
We were talking on the
not
radio show
accurate.
over the course of the last weekend about this Derek England, Kurt Busch stunt coming up on August the 13th.
Yep.
And what could you tell us about it?
Well, I kept saying it was at T-Mobile, first of all. It's at City National Arena because
Fact check.
there's actually ice there right now.
Yeah, they were busy painting the ice at T-Mobile. Not really. That
we
never
went,
happened.
right? We went and we painted the ice.
Yeah.
But no, so Derek England, Kurt Busch, Sports Swap. Hello. Hi.
Sorry, I'm just putting my hands up in the monitor behind
Okay.
you.
Oh, can I see you
I
still?
think it'll show up. The
Okay,
timing
that
should
was
work
really
out.
cool. Thanks for that.
Yep.
You knew the luchador mask.
Oh, no. Oh,
So Derek and
Rich just
Kurt.
took me looking like an idiot.
What is he
Thanks, Rich.
doing? All right.
John's on one today.
Yeah.
I am,
Derek
so.
and Kurt are going to do a sports swap. Kurt's going to skate. Derek's going to drive a race car. End of story. That's what's happening. We have some comments, though. You guys want to hear that? You want
Yes, please,
do a
please.
thing? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So we'll do that. Michael Wynn, I agree. Pay Carlson cheap in the middle. Ron Hoffman, fire. He's heated. Can the Raiders stay in Oakland? Not
No.
our team. Should have taken care of our schools instead of a stadium.
Oh, here we go
Raiders
with that.
equals thug life. But
Yeah,
then he
here we
came back.
go.
I believe that Carlson will get his money, but as in most athletes, he won't be as strong as last year. Athletes who get paid are not as proactive to be as strong because they got paid. Tracy Hibden came back. I'm from Idaho. This is for, I think you, Matt. I think you were the one saying it. It's either Boise or Boise. Either is
Boise.
correct.
It's Boise.
It's
It was a-
Boisee,
Yeah.
Boise.
Boise.
Boise or
Yeah.
Boise.
See? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And then here, I need to add this tidbit. So, John Beatty over here, weekend begins Thursday now. Just give Haley the tickets for the best comment. That is my brother, who actually this weekend is competing in, because video games are sports now.
Against Derek England?
No, the
Sports
Evo. Evo. It's
Oh.
at Mandalay Bay Convention Center. It's a gamers' paradise where they all compete in things. So I just want to give him a shout
That's
out.
sold
for that.
out. Like, it's packed, the entire arena.
Yeah.
So hang on a second.
We went last year. Me and him went last year.
So they
Crazy.
chased the Aces out of the event center for a gaming?
The
event?
convention center. The convention center.
Well, they did it in the main arena last year.
No,
Wow.
no, Evo?
Yeah.
No. It's in the convention
Oh,
center.
I'm sorry. That was Devo.
Oh, my God.
So
What is this guy doing?
let's talk
I'm
about
thinking of the
some
song, the
UNLV.
one Devo
Sports.
song that I know. Oh, no, Whip It is the other
There
one.
you go.
I'm thinking of working in a coal
the
mine
one.
because that's what I do.
So UNLV football, the Rebels open camp tomorrow for the 51st season. UNLV has a theme this season, which we talked about starting in the spring. Finish games, need to finish plays,
Finish
drives,
wins.
finish a season, have to be consistent, right? So UNLV also feeling that just a few plays. This was the theme at Media Days that we went to. Really just a few plays away from making it into bowl contention.
Well, they've got a big one to kind of establish themselves right away, right? Season opener, it's a month away now, and it's at USC, in case you did not know. Don't know. Do you know how much UNLV's getting to going to USC?
26.5 points.
Yeah, 26. That's not what I meant. I meant dollars for the athletic department, but
Few $100,000 at
right,
least.
6 figures at least. Could be a half.
I mean,
$1
that's the only
million.
reason you go on a trip like this if you're a UNLV because
Well, is it the only trip though? I mean, you have a great offense. You have a defense that is clearly unproven, but should be better this season. I feel like it could. Even if
ask
it
you
is,
this.
you got to watch the game. I feel like the game at the Rose Bowl 2 years ago against UCLA was a very good game up until UNLV got throttled in the fourth quarter. I would like to see UNLV finish strong and have a close competitive game, but it wouldn't necessarily, depending on how it plays out. If you watch the game, I just want to see them competitive for the first half going into late in the ballgame.
do you feel that USC can compete in the Pac-12? Do you feel that UNLV would be able to compete in the Pac-12? That's where these teams are at. They're at such a different level. UNLV could not compete in the Pac-12 with their current roster.
I feel like offensively they could. I feel like defensively they're
offensively,
wouldn't be
this
able
is a
to do
team that in the second half last season was going 3-and-out with 20-something point leads and couldn't sustain anything.
I said couldn't.
They were a lot. I mean, their offense is explosive, but almost to a detriment because it's a lot of huge plays. You break a big play, your offense looks great. You don't break that play, stall, you're punting.
Sure. And they had plenty of lulls like that last year. Armani struggled with accuracy. We know that, but we should also know he should be better. Now, granted, I haven't entertained this thought until literally right now, but if he's just as inaccurate as he was last season, the team's in trouble.
Yeah, he's got to be better throwing the ball. Running the ball, he's great. That's fine. He has to be a better quarterback in this system for this team to have a shot.
I would come into this season if I'm UNLV with a chip on my shoulder. You know, we've talked so much about the loss to Howard, just like the missed opportunities, the blown
Don't bring
lead
that
against
up.
Air
Ugh.
Force 27-0, being stopped on the 4th and 1 versus Reno in the game that really mattered right at the end. They just have to clean up some phases of the game, and I feel as though they have more experience. At least it looked as though they were a more confident, more methodical team. They were able to during their spring practices, guys, they were able to sprinkle in a lot of new plays because you already had a good foundation and a good base as Tony Sanchez goes into his 4th season.
Go for it. You look like you were about to say something.
no.
You turned right at me.
Guys, he gave you
I
a
was
minute
waiting
to
for you.
talk. Why are you
I'm
not?
looking at Armani Rogers stats.
So angry when he doesn't get enough
I
syllables.
think I gave him. I think I gave him enough lead time.
I have words.
Okay.
Wait, we got to turn the camera here.
Yeah.
You'll have to hold on to your words for a second. Armani Rogers, though, didn't play 2 of the last 5 games, which I guess I forgot. Guess for injury reasons, clearly. Missed the Fresno State game, missed the BYU game.
Ironically, they won the Fresno
Yes,
State
they
game.
did.
I mean, that doesn't
His
help your
most
cause.
passes he threw in one game all last year, 27.
Was that the second game of the year?
It was San Diego State, 12 of 27. Air Force, 12 of 27. So, I mean, I could go through these all. 11 of 19, 10 of 16, 11 of 19, 11 of 16, 12 of 27, 12 of 27, 5 of 12, 2 of 5. Clearly didn't play that much against Hawaii. They won that game. New Mexico, 13 of 25, 12 of 23. So the most completions, 13 in a game.
13 from your quarterback.
Hopefully he makes the leap.
That's bad. That's really bad.
He was a
That's
freshman.
He's
He
under
was a
50%.
freshman. Relax.
He's under
He was a
50%.
freshman.
But we know he can run. It's
Yep.
just if he does improve
can
his
throw.
accuracy, he will be one of. I'm not going to say
Jamarcus
elite
Russell
quarterback.
could throw.
Could be one of the top quarterbacks in the mountain.
That's not what it's about. It's about being accurate. It's about reading a defense. It's about timing. It's not just about the ability to throw the ball 80 yards. You have to be able to play the position of quarterback. Can he do it?
I believe that Friday's practice will be very emotional for this team. A pall still remains over the team over the loss of a former safety linebacker, Kenny Keys. He passed away this last week. His brother, Kendall Keys, still a member of the team, and he has several former teammates that are on the team, and a real well-liked guy, nice family, super supportive. And Kenny Keys graduated a couple of years ago and was just 25 years old, and so they go into practice tomorrow. I would be surprised if Kendall Keys shows up for practice. I don't think that I would, even want him out there on the field, tomorrow. Come back next week, and hopefully he can.
I think you
play
leave that
with,
up to him.
Focused.
I mean, a lot of guys.
That might be the place where he wants
Exactly.
to be. Though,
A
right?
lot of guys get in this situation, and that's where they want to be. And he may be a guy that's going to tell you, you know what, my brother would have wanted me to be out here because he was out here busting his butt for this university when he was a player. So
Shameless plug, and I talked to him this morning, Torrey McTyer, who is with the Miami Dolphins in training camp. He's getting first-team reps out there during training camp right now. So talked with him at length this morning. Obviously, his smile is what he talked about with Kenny. But we have a nice interview with him we're going to run Saturday morning on our radio show, CBS Sports Radio, 1140 a.m.
Good plug. Let's
What
go
you got,
back to
Haley?
Haley.
Well, over here in comment world,
some issues with Mr. Hoffman.
he's one of my favorite
Yeah,
people.
Ron.
He's so
Ronnie.
negative about everything.
I
and
like
just
this guy.
Love it.
I like this guy.
So.
Which side
So-
is Ron betting? Ron, I mean, are you taking the points? 27.5. He's not even watching. Never mind. Which side would you take, Ron?
Who's not
Okay.
watching?
Yeah, who's not watching?
He's not watching the football game.
Oh,
UNLV.
okay. Well, he's watching us
That's
because
what
he's
I
meant. Yeah, yeah,
commenting,
he's watching
and that's what it
UNLV.
sounded like
Ron
you were
doesn't care.
saying. But he's watching.
Why do you assume somebody watching a Vegas sports show doesn't care about their only university
Well,
football
look
team?
at his comments. He's not going to watch the
to
game.
Be fair,
Can we
all right.
hear these comments, please?
So,
Okay.
all right, I'm going to start from.
Sorry,
I'll start
I'm
from.
way off
I'll start
today.
from the aces. So, it's Fire Flames. Aces. Who are the aces? I'd rather watch paint drip than the WNBA.
Boo.
UNLV has a football team.
Oh.
That was the first one, and then he came back with Fire Flames. Are you really talking about UNLV football? Really? Can't Bishop Gorman beat them?
That is such a lame take. We've only heard that 50,000 times,
I think
right?
it's great.
I'm just saying.
Also, there was another one he put, no Fire Flames.
Yeah.
UNLV sports equals ZZZ snoring face. Hashtag boring.
Well, besides how one-sided those comments are,
Go ahead.
he does make a point with the Golden. I mean, I'll make Ron's point a little bit. Golden Knights, clearly, there's more interesting things going on here. The Aces, I take offense to. That's a fun atmosphere.
He just throws out the most cliche arguments you can possibly
Right.
come up with.
Right.
WNBA, paint drying. Wow, never heard that. Does UNLV have a football team? Clearly the first time. Oakland's fans are all thug. Wow, where did that come from? Genius. What were the other ones? Bandwagon, Golden Knights fans. How can you be bandwagon in year one of an entire
Bishop
franchise?
Yeah.
Bishop Gorman. I mean, it's just every cliche thing you've ever heard.
Sorry,
Ron, you're losing.
He commented on our radio show last week and said UNLV has a football team. I remember that.
Oh,
I thought he was somebody else. But
He's
he wasn't.
trolling you, I think, Haley.
I like
I think he's
it.
recycling his material.
Any other comments over there?
Sure. there's a bunch. I'm just trying to figure out which ones you actually want to hear. Not gonna lie, unlike the Knights, who I consider my number 2 team now, sorry, Philly pride, coming from my family. I don't think I can jump on the Raiders bandwagon. That said, though, #Bo knows.
You know,
Okay.
I
it's
just read that. Oh, wait, there's more.
okay.
Okay, keep them
Tracy
coming.
Hibden, UNLV football, UNLV, football,
Wow, look at
question
this.
mark, wow,
No, I'm just saying she's, way to go.
Richard, wait,
This is
we're
all
on a
the
roll.
dots.
This is
We're
what
on
I
a
taught
roll.
her in
All the
journalism school at
punctuation.
UNLV.
She won an Emmy.
Ricardo Suazo, UNLV trash, 51's trash. Ricardo Suazo, LV Lights, trash.
See, that's funny.
And then he said, Ricardo Suazo said, Raiders.
Yeah.
Just Raiders.
Just Raiders?
Just
Not,
Raiders.
not
Trash.
trash? Are we okay on the Raiders?
I think we're okay.
We're good there?
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of contenders right now for those tickets. So we had a great conversation on our show on the radio last week.
Ron
UNLV's
screwed up his hashtag. Ron, you screwed up your hashtag, just so you know. He's calling us out. It's the first time, last time on the show. That's fine. Get your hashtag straight.
Okay, so UNLV's new defensive coordinator, Tim Skipper. So you guys finally convinced now after we had him on our radio show that he's going to improve this defense? Matt? Yeah, Matt?
Yes. Did I ever say that the defense was not going to be improved? Here's the
You
problem,
just felt
Tony.
like
They
they're
only had
so
one
bad. I think
way
you said
to
trash. I
go.
think
There
you
was
said
only
trash.
one direction for this defense to go. They were horrible last season. About as bad as you could possibly be last season is where this UNLV defense was. They have to be better than last season. That's really the only direction they can go from last season. However, having talked to Skipper last week, I do think that he has the right mindset. I think he has the right mentality, the right direction for this team, and I think he'll get them to play much better. But it's got to be leaps and bounds better than it was last season for it to even matter a little bit.
We should have had NBA MGM news before UNLV football, just so you know.
Well, they start tomorrow. The MGM News, I'll go back a few days. So
We're trying to stay current here, John.
any new hashtags
We led with
first?
MGM on the podcast, but you weren't there.
What are
Yeah,
people
I
talking
think
about?
someone was absent this week.
It's based on the
So
comments.
there was some news that broke earlier this week. Adam Silver, John, just take it from there. Go ahead. I'm just,
It's really big news, and this is
it's really big
national
news.
news.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is. So the MGM, in case you hadn't heard, or maybe you've heard, and now we're talking about it at length here, the MGM NBA partnership, first ever partnership with a gaming company for the NBA, and they picked the MGM. So the NBA will give official data to the MGM. In return, the MGM will provide compensation to the NBA.
right.
The details of the compensation, not sure. How much is it? Is it the 1% that Adam Silver's talking about? I will give Adam Silver credit. They're ahead of the curve on this thing. The NFL's going to play catch-up. Baseball, I mean, they're in with DraftKings and FanDuel and talking about expanding to Vegas. I think they're kind of in the middle there. They're not really in this discussion. Gary Bettman wants his chunk of the money as well. But what's the impact going to be on the gambler? That's really the big question. The
Or
MGM,
compulsive gamblers.
yeah, Jim Murren didn't say anything about that. In-play gaming, right? And what's this official data going to consist of? Will MGM Sportsbooks have an edge, or will the gamblers have an edge because they're getting this data?
Yeah, they have this data which they could use as content, right? They could utilize now the marks of the WNBA and NBA and all of their teams and properties, which is big news because I feel as though, the only place that you're going to want to get NBA news or WNBA news will be through the MGM Resorts app or however they get it out there. And then with that data as well, John, MGM Resorts has agreed as part of this deal to detect and fix any fraudulent activities that are going on, which is big. I mean, they've been referring to this as an integrity fee, And like there is so much integrity now in sports
Don't you
betting.
feel they threw that in there just to make people on the outside that don't really understand
don't
how
understand
it works
it,
feel better?
You mean the people who thought the Raiders would never come to Vegas? Those people?
The same ones. The ones who thought hockey wouldn't work in the city. The ones that didn't think we had actual citizens living in this city that were sports fans.
What about the fans
But
that don't believe that UNLV has a football team? Are they?
There's only one out there. What's his name? I forget.
Okay.
Now, there might be more than one right
There's
now.
probably a few. But the integrity has always been there when it comes to Las Vegas gambling, at least for the last however many decades. I mean, that's what makes them the most legit out there, is the fact that they keep everything on the up and up. There's no shady stuff going on. So I think that's just verbiage that they threw into that to make everybody else feel better.
So Adam Silver's long been a proponent, John, of sports betting.
Sure has.
And one of the things that he would like to do really is have that in-game, in-arena betting element.
Yeah, and again, why not? Right? If you're ensuring the integrity, which the NBA says it does, although Vegas and Nevada has been doing that for decades, be ahead of the curve. Now, they didn't specifically, at least I didn't hear it, specifically allude to in-play gaming. I mean, it's going to happen. That's what all the books do here. So what kind of data will you be getting? Will you be getting injury information when a player rolls his ankle? Will we hear from the locker room whether or not somebody's going to come back in the game? That'll be interesting. But getting back to my bigger point of leading with this story, you're burying the lead here. The NBA is coming to Vegas within 2 or 3 years, based on this press
said
conference.
this 2 years ago.
Whoa.
Like, it's coming soon.
Jeez.
Our very first show.
He said it 2 years ago.
Well, to be fair, I think all of us have been saying
all
that
knew
for a
that,
long time
but I'm
now.
saying you have a press conference with the
we don't need
NBA
to give Tony
commissioner
all the
and the
credit.
head of MGM Resorts International.
Right.
That means we're getting an NBA team. In case you were kind of lost on this subject, we will get the Pelicans, or somebody said the Denver Nuggets.
The Nuggets.
Tony's been all over the Nuggets. I'll give Tony that. He's been on the Nuggets since day one. He hasn't wavered from that at all. And the biggest tie,
if I had sources, they would tell me the Nuggets.
Right, and he talked about the D-League team, and then obviously Kroenke moving from St. Louis, the owner of the Rams, moving from St. Louis to L.A. If you're gonna have two franchises, why not be as close as possible? Vegas and L.A. obviously 45-minute plane ride, and you're there. So
I can't wait.
Logistically, it makes sense.
Baseball's coming, as we talked about on the radio show.
I'm still
week.
not sold on baseball coming here. I'm really not.
I'm on board.
No.
NBA's
I'm on
coming?
board if they come.
Right.
I'm not
You'll go to
sold on
games.
them coming here.
Right.
That's where I step back a
We
second.
are-
NBA's coming.
You're a major
NHL already
city
here.
kids.
NFL's already here.
You think about, hey, we're the pioneers of sports talk.
That's right.
In Las Vegas.
We started it all.
Back in
We're
the day.
such a young sports market. Well, Tony's not young, but we're a young
I'm not
sports
a sports
market.
market. I'm not
You
a
know,
sports market.
You're the Mike Francesa of Las Vegas, clearly, because
I
we
have
need
better
those people
scoops.
out here.
I have better scoops.
Speaking of Mike Francesa in New York, what's been happening with hand, foot, mouth disease out in New York lately?
Wow, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Why do all these grown-ups have toddler diseases?
Toddler, yeah, I don't know. They need to disinfect.
Speaking of New York, what's going on with Haley over there? Haley, what do we have on your side?
The Mets.
Yes.
Oh, man. Who brought,
Haley, what is
who
in the
brought
world?
Mets gear onto this set?
that a
Wow.
There you go.
Is that a Pedro jersey? What is that?
Woo!
They had a rough week. We'll just put it
They've
that
had
way.
a rough life, the
Yeah.
Mets.
Do we have any comments over there, Haley?
Yes, we do.
What's behind the
actually.
curtain as she drops the curtain?
Me.
It's just me.
No, so Matt Bolt, welcome to the show. He's going on a rant. He said NBA/MGM in cahoots with each other. Straight
Yes, they are in
cash
cahoots.
grab.
Yep.
Followed up with first advertising on jerseys, now gaming. Show me the money.
Isn't that what a business is supposed to do, is make money?
Right.
And then
Show me a business that doesn't want to make money.
NBA would have been here already if we had more private hangars for those fancy jets. And
What?
I'm seeing it, Matt.
It's okay.
I like it.
Go ahead.
and we're having a
Oh,
discussion.
Ron's still watching.
Oh yeah, Ron's still watching it.
Yes.
He's got some bets going in the comments
Yes.
now too. I don't know. Have
Oh.
you guys noticed what the bets
Yeah,
are?
I see.
But it started off with over under how many fights there would be at the new Raiders Stadium, and now it's kind of just escalated.
Ron is negative like Tony. I feel like you and Ron are best friends.
I feel like it's Tony's burner account probably.
It's
I feel like Ron's never been to an actual Raiders game. And if he has, he's
I've
like a
never been.
Broncos
I
fan. He's like a Broncos or a Chiefs fan, so he's just gonna viciously hate it anyways.
It is a cash grab, though. Going back to, I mean, it's they're in cahoots. They've been in cahoots since the
Because hoots.
since the WNBA came here, and probably before that. I mean, clearly, it's a relationship that has been building over time. You're talking about the summer league, and the first thing that Adam Silver talked about during this press conference, the NBA summer league is what he
Been
talked
amazing.
about, and the WNBA in
That's it.
Vegas.
The only reason they brought the WNBA.
Boy,
Let's be honest.
this has been part
to get
of
your
their,
foot in the door.
It's been part of their master plan, right? You have to believe that Silver and Jim Urine from MGM Resorts International, this was their plan, okay?
Oh, it was. They said it the day that the WNBA came to Vegas. I can't remember. Epstein, Epstein is his name, one of the officials with MGM. I interviewed him. I said, WNBA, NBA. He said, absolutely. Did not hide around that at all.
Right.
So they've been gunning for this for a while. So if this is news to you, the MGM has been pining for an NBA team for quite a while, and they're doing a great job of getting one here.
And really, why wouldn't you want the NBA here? Why wouldn't you want another pro franchise here? We waited so long to finally get one, and Bill Foley brought the Golden Knights here, and then boom, Raiders come. Now NBA team coming. I mean, that's what you want. That's what the city has been waiting for generations, and now they're finally here.
Who's late to the party? NHL. Gary Bettman, get a clue. I mean, they're going to be the last. They're going to be the last league to get involved with anything that's more exciting for the fans.
It's funny because they seemed like they were so innovative with their take on Vegas and coming to Vegas and exploring this brand new market. But like you mentioned, they're so slow to react to anything that's new and venturous and really gets fans talking. They're just, I don't know what it is about that league that they refuse, and it's like I mentioned in my baseball rant about baseball refusing to grow their sport. It's like they're trying to hang on to some crazy thing from the past and not allow themselves to be current.
I think it's a great time to announce our lineup for Saturday's show. So tune in 8 to 10 a.m. this Saturday, CBS Sports Radio, 11:40 a.m. Robert Walker will be joining us from U.S. bookmaking fame.
He's a longtime MGM employee. He was the sportsbook director of the Mirage for at least a decade. He's going to join us and talk about this whole deal.
Yes, the MGM Resorts NBA
context.
deal and contest.
Context.
Oh, context. Thank you. And then former UNLV football player and current Miami Dolphin Torrey McTyer, as John mentioned.
Oh, yeah, another guest I got. Sorry.
Yes. And then we will continue with our Ring Warriors guests. I think it was one of the most popular ever Dasco Effect shows last night in that we had all these wrestling fans out there just going hog wild. They're great. They're great. It was a lot of fun.
You were paying attention to comments last night?
Allegedly. And so the Ring Warrior guest will be the Belt Collector. They call him the Belt Collector. Austin Aries will be joining us.
Did you just discount double check everybody?
Yes. If you're outside of Las Vegas, you can listen in live on the radio.com app. So we have a fun show. That's going to be fun.
Rumor has it that Tony's going to get suplexed next week. That's just what I'm hearing.
That's
Maybe
not a
take
rumor.
a chair off the back.
The source is me because I asked them. I told them. I said, "Look, my back is jacked up. If you want to hit me with a chair,
It's from
do
you
it."
constantly
I said,
patting
"If you
yourself
wanna-"
on it. That's
No.
what that is.
And then I said, if you want to suplex me when we go there next week to the ring, do it. Just do it. Have a good time. Have fun.
I will leave the studio for my own safety, I think.
Okay. The Las Vegas Aces. So the WNBA Aces, yes, they do have fans here in Vegas.
I have a lot of fans.
They could have climbed
fans.
actually up to within a game of Dallas in the postseason race last night. But the visiting Phoenix Mercury, 11 trays from the field, 104-93, the victory over the Las Vegas Aces. Las Vegas now 12-14, and now 2 games out of contention for a playoff spot. I hate to use the golden term, but this was a golden opportunity for your Aces.
That was a tough game last night. Kayla McBride coming off a great showing at the All-Star game, 3-point shooting contest. It ended up going to overtime before she lost. Could not get it going. She missed everything inside early on. I think at one point she was 1 of 13 from the field. Got to the free throw line, ended up with 18 points, but after the game talking to her, she said, "Put this one on me because I didn't have it." Bill Lambier, surprisingly, a little little reserved. You know, we've seen him now in a few press conferences where he is not afraid to go after his players and call them out for not doing their job. And just a little different tone from Bill. And we have some sound from the press conference here for you.
Trying to find the right words to talk to players. I couldn't come up with the right word. Not disappointed, but just frustrated maybe. I thought that it was a game that we played with intensity. We could have won. We didn't play very well across the board. Asia played a stellar game, but overall, I thought we struggled. I'll take a lot of the blame for the shoot-around today. It wasn't a very intense shoot-around. Didn't get us off to a very good start today, so I'll take a fair amount of that blame. But at the same time, our players have to learn what big games mean. This was a big game. We need to get a home win to set us on the road. I give credit to Phoenix. They played well. Their big three got off. Reiner and Taurasi carried them a long way. We just couldn't get over the hump, couldn't get the stops, so we needed to get, it hurt us the second half, way too many second shots. That really hurt us, our momentum. That's just a killer right there. Then the Taurasi makes big shots and we lose. Hopefully it's a learning experience. I told them that at the end of the day, it's just one game and we can beat anybody that we play at any given night. So now we have to go on the road and prove who we are against teams that are in front of us, and that's what it should be about.
Yeah, so there you go. Lambier taking a little bit of blame, said he didn't really have the team ready in the shoot-around. Kayla McBride actually mentioned that too. She said during the shoot-around she didn't really feel it, didn't have enough energy, and they just, you know, you don't want to say they came out flat because it was a really, it was a fast-paced game. It was up and down the floor. They couldn't close on three-point shooters. Again, you mentioned 11 three-pointers for Phoenix. Taurasi was ridiculous. And by the way, Taurasi, who I nicknamed Neymar during the game, is probably the most whiny player I have ever seen in any basketball game.
Did she flop?
Oh, my God. If you touch this girl, she's on the floor screaming. Not only that, every time out, she walks back to the bench throwing daggers at whatever referee is closest. And if they don't look at her, she starts cussing up a storm, screaming and yelling at them until her bench pulls her back.
That's the Italian fire.
She is not a happy basketball player, let me tell you.
That's all.
So
but
you can't win when you shoot 39% and you allow your opponent to hit 50% of its field goals. And all those free throws.
Early on, going into late in the first half, they were at about 26% for the game. So they actually improved getting up to that mark, but they were terrible. And they couldn't keep Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi off the free throw line. They couldn't get them off the free throw line. They had no answer for either one of them.
Guys, there was a tweet that came out just a couple of hours ago from Kayla McBride. I just want to get your reaction because I'll tell you how I reacted.
All-star guard? Yes, Kayla McBride.
So she says, player health is the most important thing. Our schedule is already so compact this year. Now you want us to travel all night with a stop and compete? Hashtag not today. Hashtag not ever. I mean, you want to get paid as much as you want to get paid as much as the men do, and this is the type of a schedule that the NBA plays. And now you're going to complain about the travel?
It's absolutely not. Not even close.
Complain about the
NBA players have bitched and moaned so much that they don't even have to play back-to-backs most of the time anymore.
They have
one here, one there.
These
girls are playing every other night for over a week.
Fine.
Every other night, 3 of them on the road, coming back to Vegas with another every. It's not a deal with it situation.
And it's not about player health.
You can't have it both ways. You can't talk about the NBA getting paid this much and the girls whining about wanting to get paid the same way and then say, oh, they play the same schedule when they don't. NBA players don't play anywhere near as many back-to-backs as these girls do, and it's because they've cried about it for so long.
I just think, again, I think it's a moot point, and I think it's something you should
If it's a moot point, then why does the NBA not do it? If it's a moot point,
then
why does LeBron not play back-to-backs as often as these girls do?
Social media. This is something that the league needs to figure out. Maybe extend their season. Maybe, you know what? Why don't we just make their season as long as the soccer league here? That's it. We'll just go 8 months out of the year. Let's just do that.
If it was a moot point, Tony, the NBA would not have so many breaks. They wouldn't have so many breaks.
They need to figure out benefits. They need to figure out salary. And then if the travel thing is really an issue, just talk about
Speaking of breaks,
put it on the table.
Let's go to Haley
Don't go
for a
on
minute.
social media and cry about it.
Can you just cut it off, please? Thank you, Haley.
No, I love it. Keep going.
Thanks, Haley. You're an enabler for me. Thank you.
All right. What do you want to hear? We got a lot going on. Okay.
Who's
Throw it
winning-
out there. Throw
Who's
it out
winning
there.
the comment race for our tickets?
Oh, Ron Hoffman is in the lead for most comments by far.
Most comments.
Yeah, for
He's
most.
still watching, huh?
Oh yeah, dude. First of all, he's from Philly too, so.
That's why. Jeez.
He has most comments. Not
Why
best
didn't you say that at the
necessarily.
beginning?
Not best necessarily. Still trying to figure out who exactly is going to be the
Invite
best
Philly
comment. A lot of
Ron into the
stuck-ups that are
studio.
kind of in the head. What you want?
Go ahead.
Good?
Like, this is
Okay.
your
Sorry,
show.
sorry.
You, all
Thanks
right,
for
let's-
inviting us to your show
some,
today.
Some actual thoughts and everything going on over here. Marquise, last name Threats.
Marcus Threets.
Marcus Threats, not Threats. I'd rather have the Pelicans, bigger star, and the NBA would rather give up the New Orleans market over the Denver one.
Compelling argument. What do you think, Tony?
I think that's a good argument. Pelicans.
We have some Bloods and Crips talk.
Rename them the
Bloods and
Flamingos.
what?
Oh yeah,
On our Facebook page?
It's talking about whether or not the Bloods and Crips are going to make it here for the Raiders games and how many
Great discussion.
events
some more-
are going to occur.
Are these Philly fans saying this garbage? Philly who tore down their own city after a Super Bowl
They
win?
didn't tear
And you're
it down,
going to
they
talk about
decorated
Raider
it.
fans?
Decorated it.
Decorated with your own blood and vomit.
With dirt from those huge planters they
Decorated.
jumped over on whatever street that is. I remember
right.
that.
Broad
vividly.
You're acting
Yeah.
like Tony, and you're answering Haley's questions for her. Don't do that.
All right. Let's run through here. Chris William Wynn. Hello. Haven't seen you in a while.
I love how Chris, I'm sure you love it too, how she says your middle name.
Well, he's got it in the title.
I know. I have to. It's just there. I read it. If it's on the prompter, I read it.
Yeah, exactly. Burgundy.
But
Haley
he said, I don't,
Hailstorm Brooks.
that is me.
Yes.
I don't know how to say this last name. I'm not going to lie. Bill Lambier,
Yes.
Lambier.
who
Lambier.
played on those great Detroit
Head coach of the
defense
Aces?
teams,
Yes.
Yeah.
had to be irate. They gave up 100 plus.
Yeah. But the fourth time this season, I think they've given up over 100.
Yeah, defensively, they were not good last night. 11 three-pointers will do that to you, too. Not only that, they had 52 free throw attempts. I mean, you can't guard the free throw line. It was bad. That was rough.
I'm sorry, I'm not good with the Aces, but
Taurasi.
Taurasi.
Names we only mentioned, 3 or 4.
Three or 4 minutes ago, we.
Yeah, right.
At least
I'm
you're paying
not
attention,
good with
Haley.
the Aces. Say his name again. Not Threets.
Marcus Threets, yeah.
Marcus Threets says Taurasi has one of the quickest shooting releases I've ever seen from a pro, man or women.
She does. I'll agree with that. She was, man. Taurasi's real quick. Taurasi is one of those players. If this was a league that like the NBA that everybody followed, everybody would hate her except for her local fan base. That's the kind of player she is because she's a pain in the butt. You don't want to even hear her speak. But man, she can ball.
The Jonathan Marsha show of.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
How could the
love
Aces
Marcy.
The Aces play a game tomorrow. They just came off of an All-Star break, and already they haven't played.
You still on this?
Yeah, because they have not played the every other night
Yeah,
schedule.
had McBride not played in the All-Star game, would she be complaining about it?
Correct.
Would she?
I agree with you there.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm trying to get at. They played one game, and what about the Mercury? They played back-to-back nights, and they came here and they beat Las Vegas. So this is crazy because this road trip is just starting, and already they're complaining about the travel.
Yeah, Matt went off on the other way. You're going. I don't really have a thought on this right now.
Okay.
Get back to me next week.
What?
Chris brought
What a
up
cop
something.
out.
Go ahead, Haley.
Our
It's your
buddy
show.
Chris William Wynn said, "Isn't the WNBA season half of NBA season?"
Yes. It's
So
half.
then,
And it's condensed. I'll give him that.
Great point, Tony.
No, I can't get on board with that crap. There's no way.
With what?
With you saying that they can't complain about this when the NBA, literally the men complained about this very thing and got, even this last season, got the number of back-to-backs they play reduced again. How can you be okay with that and then talk
The
about the
timing
girls
of it.
complaining
The timing
about
of
it?
it.
What timing of it?
You know what? Then don't
Were they
play-
about to go on
then don't play-
back-to-backs for the next 2 weeks?
Then don't play in the All-Star game. Decline.
Tony,
Take the little breather. And then they play a
If
game
the
at home, and
NBA
now they have a long road
No.
trip like everyone else
If the
does.
NBA had back-to-backs this consistently, I don't care if it was
It's
after the
the
All-Star
Aces?
break, I don't care if it was the first week of the season, you would hear every single one of those players on every social media market available complain about the number of back-to-backs.
They're the Aces, but everyone is dealt the same cards.
Oh, my God.
I'm not even engaging in this. Like, it doesn't get me fired up. You're fired up on one side. You're
I
fired
am.
up
I
on the other
absolutely
side.
am.
Just like, whatever. Play basketball.
Let's play some football.
I just want to go to a game.
Let's talk football. The Raider Nation, the NFL preseason kicked off tonight, the annual Hall of Fame game. Football is in the air. And in Napa today, the Raiders welcomed legends Charles Woodson and Peyton Manning. Went to camp today. That was cool. So Derek Carr and Manning, some good
What other
conversations.
camps are having Peyton Manning walk in?
That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. So Carr said it will help him after their conversations with his approach to the game and his preparation. So that's pretty cool. So they both showed up. Nothing new in the impasse. That's my new word for this. Okay?
That's a good word.
Okay. It is an impasse between the Raiders and Khalil Mack. So nothing to report. So I'm sure Matt will talk about it for 10 minutes.
Nope. I'm good.
Okay. So there is nothing to report.
No, Mac, look.
Of course. So look at here.
We had the quote from Reggie McKenzie the other night talking about on the podcast how this was the way, quote, this is the way that his camp wanted to do it, which read between the lines says this isn't the Raiders not willing to pay Mac, this is Mac's camp, i.e. his agent, wanting to get as much money as possible. And I think that goes back to the Aaron Donald situation where we're still waiting for the Rams' stud defensive lineman to sign his contract extension. He's a holdout in camp this year. He was a holdout in camp last year. The sooner he gets in camp and gets a deal done, the better for Khalil Mack. Because, I mean, let's be honest, it's a pissing contest, right? They want to be the highest paid guy. They're waiting for the other one to sign.
Don't
so
say that on
can
the
trump
radio
him.
on Saturday.
I won't. We're not on the radio right
Thanks,
now.
man. So what about Gruden showing the old film from the 60s
We
and 70s?
missed a bleep last week, didn't we? We missed a bleep last
I
week.
don't know.
Oh, Bears losing. What?
17-7.
What a surprise! 17-7.
You're a Raiders fan now.
I don't know.
So
I can
Gruden
have a
shows-
second NFL
So
team.
Gruden shows the team old 60s and 70s film this past week. The purpose to show some fundamental football. The players were like kind of digging it, just the way the throwback part of the game and the way that
Did
they
they
used to
use
play.
helmets in the 60s and 70s?
I don't know. I wasn't around. in the
leather?
60s. Yeah, 60s and 70s.
You weren't around in the 60s.
Was
I
not
figured
around.
you'd know.
So my pick to click, Matt's been like out there and, oh, this guy, whoever's the hottest player of the day. But I like Marcel Aitman. I think he's winning the camp. And again today,
I had Marcel Aitman before the
Oh
draft.
again today,
I had him before the draft.
again today, I saw
He
him.
was on my board.
So you're pulling a Tony right
No,
now, just so you know.
this is accurate.
So
This
well,
is
no,
accurate.
I got you, but it's like
I saw him
everything.
in
I
the
said this
game
last
notes.
week. I said this 3 weeks ago.
I said this in the
this in
game.
like
I'm just so used to it from.
So in the game notes today, so Carr throws up over the top. He's tall, he's rangy, and you have him matched up against a squirt. And so today it was Antonio
What'd you
Hamilton.
call me?
I
What'd you
said a
call me?
squirt. No, it was just,
What did you call me? Tell me.
so Antonio Hamilton was the victim. Can the Raiders find a spot for Aitman on this team?
Yeah, absolutely. You have Seth Roberts who can't hang on to the ball to save his life. You need another guy that can be a red zone threat. I mean, Jared Cook I think is a great red zone threat from the tight end position because he's a big athletic tight end that can catch the ball. But Jordy Nelson's about 6'2". Martavis Bryant.
He was out one day this week. He was sick, had the flu.
Yeah, but I mean, lightning. He's the guy that takes the top off the defense.
AKA another drug test.
But it's good to have one of those red zone guys that can go up and get the ball. And they had Andre Holmes there a couple of years ago that could do that. You just kind of throw up a jump ball and let him go get it. Marcel Aitman, maybe not the speed that Holmes had, but a better route runner, better hands. I think he's going to be a really nice fit.
Was he
Now,
out of Oklahoma State, I think, right?
yeah, he's not going to
Never
be
been to college.
1, 2, or 3 guy. Probably won't even be 4. But you can bring him in certain packages, and he's a
So
big mismatch.
If there's no space for him, do they put him, down in the development phase?
Is Marshall?
He won't get beyond.
Do you
practice
have
team. He'll be part of this team.
What's the first phase? Knowing how to put on your equipment. It's like,
What the hell is he talking about?
is this comparable to like the kids' camp thing with the Golden Knights? What do you got
I
there?
have no idea what Tony's
Is
talking
Marshall
about.
Newhouse still on the team? Raiders. He gave up 8 sacks last year. I'm looking at sack numbers, right? We're talking about all these weapons, wide receiver-wise. We know Carr can throw the ball. I don't know if he was I'm looking just at the numbers here. Maybe it was around 20 sacks, so that doesn't seem like a lot.
There or not.
That's 10. Yeah, it was around 20 sacks, so I think that's normal. I think high end, you're talking about 30 or 40 times a season. So just wondering if they've got enough guys there. I know the offensive line is good, but I'm wondering if they have enough guys to protect David Carr with all these
Well, they don't,
weapons.
but Derek Carr perhaps they could protect.
Sorry.
David Carr's since
one of the,
retired.
Sorry, I saw David Sharp on here, and then I said David Carr.
Your interior linemen are set.
Yeah.
Rodney Hudson in the middle, Kelechi Osemele on the left, and Gabe Jackson on the right. If Donald Penn, he's dealing with that Liz Frank injury over there at left tackle, and you have Colton Miller in the rookie right now over there. But if David Carr, it's terrible. Yeah, you're one of those guys now, John. If Penn can come back, I think that's huge because I mentioned this the other day. What's the lesser of two evils here? Having a maybe not 100% Donald Penn out there, or having a rookie out there at left tackle on the blind side when you have guys like Joey Bosa and Bradley Chubb and Von Miller and the like coming off of that edge. I mean, some of the best pass rushers in the NFL are in the AFC West.
Sorry, did they sign another? They signed another running back to camp.
Yes, from Reno.
Yeah, it was
Butler.
a Reno kid. Right.
Yeah, the kid Butler out of Reno. Again, just more depth, more competition.
Okay.
That's all that is.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll make the team or not.
Is it
not
like
yet
Doug
anyways,
Martin
but
is not as good
No.
as maybe they think?
That has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
You've got Lynch up top. You've got Martin behind him, and assuming Martin can perform the way they think he can, those are your top two backs, and then you have Jalen Richard and DeAndre Washington as the next two guys in line, unless Gruden is there going, you know what, one of these two guys doesn't fit, and I need to bring somebody else in to either push them and get them to where they need to be, or to take their spot. I mean, competition. That's the theme of Gruden's camp right now.
Where's Ron at? Ron?
Yeah.
Ron, are you listening?
Okay.
Oh.
The Gary and Conley news this week, not good. Diagnosed at first with a hip strain and was expected to miss just a couple of days of camp. Now expected to miss a few weeks. Gruden said he's disappointed. Colin, might be one of those injury-plagued players. But someone brought up this week the vitamin D deficiency.
This guy's a mess. That was the problem last year. That was
no vitamin D?
I don't know about no vitamin D, but a deficiency means you are lacking enough vitamin D or enough of whatever it is.
Anyone that plays defense should have
vitamin D. God, that's terrible, I think. Last season, he had the calf injury, and they kept talking about it just being a strain, and he'll be back. And then after the season was over, they talked about it being more than that. He had a deficiency in vitamin D. That's why he couldn't get back. And now you're hearing that again. That's why I talked about this before is, yeah, he wasn't on the PUP list to start camp, but my immediate reaction was yet, because so far he has been an injury risk. He has yet to get on the field with any consistency and sustain.
I have a vitamin D deficiency. I've been told this multiple times, and yet I'm here every week. So that didn't stop me from coming in here and competing and mixing it up with you guys.
A little easier, I think.
No.
Talking about
not
the Raiders.
Easier dealing with this clown. You maybe. Haley, okay. Luis, definitely.
Where is Luis today, by the way? What happened to Luis?
With you, I got to sit next to you.
He's so excited to be here.
He's on assignment.
And he's not here. I'm a little disappointed in
I'm
Luis.
just kicking back here. It's like casual Tuesday, Thursday, whatever.
Yeah. And, I just wanted to talk a little bit more, not so much about the Raiders, but the fact that the Raiders and the Lions next week will be in camp together. That starts on the 7th. And don't forget, is that a good segue? Don't forget the Sports Adrenaline team and the Silver and Black Today crew are going to be hosting a viewing party. It's for the first exhibition game for the Raiders' first preseason game. We're going to do it at Legacy Stadium. It's at the Palazzo. It's Friday night. It's August the 10th. We will do podcasts from there from 5 to 7, then preview the Raiders' preseason game, talk Raiders football. And once again, that is on August the 10th. We'll be there starting at 5 o'clock, but the party kicks off really at 7. Free parking, free admission, must be 21 plus. And we hope that all of the Raider fans
Tony's buying the drinks. He's buying the food. So come on down. Tell him I sent you. Tell him I sent you.
So much hate and venom
Not going to
being
happen.
spewed over our WNBA
And
argument.
don't forget,
My
fans,
God.
to tune in on
Great.
Sunday
Haters.
morning as well for the Silver and Black Today show that airs.
It's a good show.
right there.
Great show. 'Cause Matt's on
11:40
it.
a.m.
Haley, what's going on with all these haters out here, man?
Haley, who's
Just
hating
gave
on
you
what?
like a-
What's
that's
happening
all.
Oh,
there?
there's a lot. There's a lot going
didn't
on
even hear
today. But before we dig into all that, I have a valid. I liked this one. It's something I haven't really thought of. Jake Gifford said, "Born and raised in Vegas, am I considered a bandwagon fan for becoming a Raiders fan? I don't think so, but I want to know what you guys think."
No.
No,
Are
not
you
at all.
are you a bandwagon fan for being a Golden Knights fan?
No, but
There's
the
only
Golden
one
Knights
bandwagon
started-
fan here.
I
Two.
understand that they
Two.
started here, but if
There's two.
if you are born and raised Vegas, then any team that you've ever cheered for, you've adopted to this point, right? You've never had your own hometown team to cheer for, whether it's Raiders, Patriots, Broncos, Rams, whoever it is. You've never had your own team. If you finally get a team in your hometown, then yeah, obviously you want to cheer for that team. Now, I get it. If you're a Chiefs, Chargers, or Broncos fan, you're not going to cheer for the Raiders unless you're a very fair weather fan and you don't care. You're not cheering for a division rival that you've been taught to hate your entire life. But outside of that, I'd be surprised if most people didn't, at the very least, adopt the Raiders as a second team, if not their number one team.
When do you call somebody a bandwagon fan? Nobody's jumping on the Padres bandwagon right now. It's only when the team's winning.
There you go.
Only when the team's winning.
Anybody right now who does not live in San Diego and is a team of anybody but the Padres who jumps on that bandwagon when they finally become good, those are bandwagon fans. If you're not cheering for the Padres right now and in 2021 they're making a World Series push, you're a bandwagon fan. Go ahead, Haley.
Enough said.
I like Ron's recent comment.
Yeah,
well,
Ron,
I don't
what does
like
he
it.
have
I
now?
don't
Ron's still
like
watching.
It.
I
Ron,
don't
what are you
like
doing?
it.
I thought he
Ron
said no.
is my buddy, okay?
What do you got, Ron?
Most recently, burn the Raiders jersey, use the UNLV jersey for a dish rag, put some Eagles merch in there.
It's trash. Eagles won one Super Bowl in 155 years.
Yeah.
They think they're the greatest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Eagles.
Thank
it took you
you.
until 2018 to do anything.
Go ahead,
you.
Haley.
Good for you.
Haley, this is your show.
Thanks. Matt Evans wanted to know about the William Carlson deal, but we talked about that earlier.
$4
There's no
million
need.
times one.
You're wrong. There you go. That's all you need to know. $4 million, says Tony. That's incorrect. It'll be 5.
If I had sources,
5.
I mean, there's a lot going on. I'm really
Go for it.
really engaged.
Tackle it.
I'm happy with the amount of engagement.
Oh, are you?
well,
Well,
what is at
talking to
stake?
each
What is at
other.
stake tonight, Haley?
What's
Why
at
are so many
stake?
people
Oh,
commenting?
well, yes. The best comment will receive. Oh, wait, sorry. The best comment and the most comments, which Ron is in the lead for that
the
right
Z's
now.
don't count, Ron.
Everything counts. We'll receive a 4-pack of Warrior ring tickets for next weekend.
Ring Warriors.
Ring Warriors tickets for next
Did
week.
you
What
say
did I
Golden
say?
State Warriors?
Yeah. I mean, we don't got that kind of access. But Ring Warriors tickets next weekend, Samstown. We're giving them away. Keep commenting.
And the weekend does,
love the negativity today.
does start on Wednesday because it's Wednesday and Thursday night next week. The weekend now starts on Wednesday.
No, it sounds good to me.
Good, Haley. It's your
Thanks.
show.
There's good comments today.
Is that it? Are there more?
There's a lot more. Do you want more? There's a lot going
Give
on
us some
here.
funny ones.
Yeah.
Like, let's get some people that, well, some good
All right,
comments.
Matt
for
Bolt,
once.
Raiders are the step kid. The Golden Knights are true Vegas born. Davis has a mountain to climb.
I disagree. That's the thought right now because they're not here. Wait till the NFL gets here. The NFL is a freaking juggernaut. The NFL is going to trump anything in this city 365 days a year because it's the NFL. It's bigger than anything. Marketing is 1,000 times bigger. The team is 1,000 times bigger. The push will be 1,000 times bigger. You will be inundated with Raiders stuff 24/7 when they get here. Yes, Golden Knights are fantastic. We love the Knights. I'm born and raised here. I've never had more fun than I did this last season with this hockey team, but it will be a different beast overall when the Raiders get here.
And as I said on our podcast, the NBA will beat the Raiders here in 2019.
No, they won't.
Loquacious.
The Raiders will be here in 2019.
Loquacious.
Loquacious.
Raiders need a spot to
Loquacious.
play next season. Come
What
on,
else we
Cal.
got?
Loquacious was a word that was used.
Yeah, is that the best
I
comment?
think
Is
you
that
got to
the best
find the
comment?
winner.
Best comment. Well, best comment so far. So I
Don't even say the Philly one.
Well,
That's
it
biased.
has the most. Hold on. There's multiple Philly ones, first of all, but the one that has the most reactions from other people. So I was like, okay, that's
I'll
kind of a fair
unreact
way
it.
to judge it.
I'll unreact.
And it's a Philly diss, if you must know.
Good.
It was Matt Bolt. He said, "Hey Ron," and it's a Ron diss. "Hey Ron, at least we won't have to grease down the light poles here. They're
Oh,
too
that's the
hot to
winner.
cime. Keep
Yeah,
it
that-
greasy, Philly."
that's the
Laughy
winner.
faces.
Keep it
So that
greasy.
has the most
Keep it greasy.
Keep it
reactions right now.
Is
like
Matt
it.
a wrestling fan?
Matt hasn't said much about the wrestling yet, but I'm assuming so because he keeps commenting. Tracy Hibden said LVMS, a bunch of exclamation points, which
Yeah.
in about a month we'll have a race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Man, can you believe that?
Thursday, Friday,
Race number
Saturday,
2
Sunday.
coming up
I
already.
just realized I've got to
Jeez.
apply for credentials for that. We've got to get on that, boys.
Probably do
Thursday,
that.
Friday, Saturday. Is that a weekend or is
It's
that those
Thursday,
weekdays?
Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday,
That's
so
right.
it's a full weekend.
It's 3 races, right? Truck
4.
series? What's the 4th
There's a
race?
dirt race on Thursday night.
Oh, okay.
K&N
We're
dirt
counting
They
race.
have the
races.
tractor races again or whatever that was?
No.
No, those were great.
Those old
That was
tractor
amazing.
pulls.
Yeah.
But there's
great,
going to be a lot of cool
The
stuff.
mud.
Mud bogs? No
Yeah.
mud bogs.
It's gonna be a Ferris wheel.
Haley, so when we come back to you here momentarily, we're going to get your winners for tonight. And they will
Oh, is it
win
that time already?
4 packs for Ring Warriors at Samstown next Wednesday and Thursday night. You'll have your choice of the night.
One more.
One more.
Hit it.
One more. Ron Hoffman. Can we please talk more about the Aces? I'm very interested in their injured reserve list and their fan club address.
They are 100% healthy, Ron.
They're healthy now.
100% healthy. Mariah Jefferson, back playing ball, 100% healthy. 4-time NCAA champion, Mariah Jefferson.
So, we've got the Tiger versus Phil match coming up, right? It's set for Thanksgiving
Oh, yeah.
weekend.
See, you buried the lead again. This should have been the second story
Why
after the NBA.
Why would some nonsense?
How does this not create?
Hold
oh,
on.
man.
Why would some
TV guy. That's it. Sorry. Go ahead. Continue. You guys are
little
right. I'm
an
wrong.
exhibition golf
Yeah,
tournament
it's
between two
that's the number.
pretentious
Oh, that's right. You
dudes
hate golf.
who want to go
Tiger
out for
fired a
some money.
66 today, by the way.
Oh my gosh!
So,
So not
Thanksgiving
exciting.
Ryder
weekend
Cup team?
here in
I
Las
really
Vegas.
just did our
We'll
Arsenio.
do it at Shadow Creek.
Can't wait.
Reports today saying the battle, could we call it a battle? It'll either take place on Black Friday, which would be nuts.
Oh,
Let's have
geez.
some more traffic problems here in the city on November 23rd, or on Saturday the 24th of November. Winner takes all, $10 million at stake. When we talked about this on our radio show, guys, Tiger was a minus 120 favorite. Now he's minus 160. We could have found value. Wake up. Wake
Yeah.
up, Sports Adrenaline crew.
Oh, I'm going with Phil.
So
You're
I'll
going
take
with Phil.
excited for golf.
Take
Wow. Seriously, why?
The value? What do you mean? I think that's an even matchup. Yeah, I don't see Tiger. I mean, he's fired that 66 and he's been playing better. But I think that's I don't know. I think it's just a dead heat when you get two guys out on the course like that and they're playing for that kind of money. I mean,
Are you
we
guys
know,
excited
Have
to
you
see
heard
this?
the Phil Mickelson voicemail? We played that on the show a few 6 months or so ago. Him and Charlie Hoffman were gonna go play a little bit in San Diego. When there's money on the line, just look that up. Phil Mickelson voicemail. You'll hear it.
So-
Phil gets fired up when there's money in golf.
And
Yeah.
Charlie Hoffman always fades at the end.
Yeah,
Is
he
that what you
does.
said?
My boy Charlie. Just throw him in the mix.
Would you guys go see this?
Yes.
See this match? I know you're a
Why
big
not?
fan.
It'll be a spectacle.
Really?
Shadow Creek is a gorgeous course.
Yeah.
Tiger and Phil. Well, maybe I'd rather watch it on TV.
Are we
I don't
allowed
know
to
if
take selfies out there? I'm only going if we
No,
can take
because
selfies.
Tiger will grab your camera
Yeah.
and throw it in the water
Yeah.
because, God forbid, a bee flies
And
by
his
him and makes the
backswing.
tiniest sound ever while he's swinging a golf club.
I'm not playing golf with you
Meanwhile,
again.
Javi Baez can go out in front of 50,000
I've
people
seen-
and hit a home run
I've
while they're
seen your
screaming
golf
at the
game.
top of their
I've seen
lungs.
your golf game, so
You've had lessons and it wasn't much better than mine, so I don't want to hear it.
I think I won by 20.
Yeah, 25.
So
something
that's
like that.
happening Thanksgiving weekend. And then the Viva Lights, some great news on attendance figures coming out this week. Las Vegas ranks
Ron
6th.
just said nobody cares.
Ron. Oh,
Ron,
I missed
for
that.
not caring, Ron sure does talk a lot.
He wants
Sorry.
those. He's a big wrestling
I
fan.
preempted
it.
his comment.
Yes.
I'm sure he's just said that.
So Las Vegas ranking 6th out of 33 teams in the USL. The Lights are averaging. They want to average 10,000. Remember that?
well, that's a sellout.
That'd be a
When
sellout,
Brett,
yeah.
Brett Lashbrook was on the show. They had some really bad weather. The season, I think, is very long. And, it's just a long season. But they're still averaging 7,426 fans per game.
I mean, that's
So
more
it's
than the
gonna work here.
51s, right?
Almost double.
Yeah.
Almost double.
Yeah. They're doing.
So they've
they're
done a
doing
great
well.
job, yes.
They're doing well. They're marketing the hell out of it. Brett and his team do a great job getting the word out for this team. I mean, they're all over the place. It seems like every other night they have some event going on to get the community involved.
They do as good of a job as we do in cross-promotion. So, the 2018 MLS Super Draft first-round pick, Carter Manley, joining the team this week on loan from the Minnesota United.
It seems
You gotta love the on loan.
I know. As we have John with us tonight on loan from where? UNLV? Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Go
I'll
ahead.
come up with something.
It seems to
They've
you.
had how many number 1 picks have played on this team, and they're still at 5 wins?
But this is another defender. Don't they need some offense at some point?
Yeah, they do. Well, no, they're giving up 3 and 4 goals to teams that have 1 win on the season. So
That Seattle team last week had 3 wins. So, and then, of course, John, the opponent this week is the Rio Ariana Grande Valley FC Toros.
oh man, Tony's
It's the
done.
RGV FC.
We've gone over an hour. Tony's lost his mind.
So, and it's free backpack night for the kids, plus fireworks down there. So great promotion. Get on out there this Saturday night. One final note: Las Vegas 51s. Sorry, the Triple A's, because they're going to be the A's affiliate, so I call them the Triple
Aviators.
A's or the Aviators.
Aviators.
So they announced the 2019 home schedule for the new Las Vegas ballpark.
What are you playing with here?
So let me ask you guys this. So the LVCVA paid money in the multi-millions to name this Las Vegas ballpark, right? It's going to be the Las Vegas Stadium that will be housing the Raiders, UNLV.
No, obviously
it
that
won't.
stadium's going to have naming rights attached to it, and some T-Mobile, whatever.
You don't think
it'll
Las
be
Vegas
something
will still
like that.
be in the name? Yes.
No,
The
no, it'll be
Toshiba
like
Las Vegas.
It'll be like
Raiders Stadium.
Is
You're still gonna get the
T-Mobile
Las
Arena
Vegas
T-Mobile Las Vegas Arena? No.
That's the strangest thing you've ever said on this show, and you've said a lot of strange things.
It will be.
Is it Petco San Diego Park?
It's
What are you
going
talking
to be
about, Tony?
the Dr. Pepper
Why are you just making things up right now?
Stadium
You're just
at
making
Las
things up.
Vegas.
That's all you're doing.
So in any event, what I'm saying, LVCVA
No, there will
pays
be
for
no
the
confusion
Las
as to
Vegas
what
branding.
ballpark to go to.
No, they're paying for the Las Vegas branding at a AAA ballpark. But there's no money that we know of from the convention authority to the new Las Vegas Stadium. And they're going to be assured of still calling it. It still will have Las Vegas in its name.
No, it won't.
It will.
No, it won't.
Trust me.
Why? Trust
You
me,
have
why?
to. They'll know.
Why would it?
You
have
will know
Las
you're in Las
the
Vegas.
name? How many stadiums
So-
have the city's name attached to them? Even Yankee and Dodger Stadium don't have the city's name attached to them.
Yes.
No.
It's the Dodger
not New York
Stadium
Yankee Stadium
at
or
Chavez
LA
Ravine
Dodger Stadium.
in Los Angeles.
That's not what it's
That's
called.
in the title.
Busch Stadium? Is that Busch St. Louis Stadium?
Yes.
New Busch
STL.
St. Louis Stadium?
So in any event, so the home opener,
Pac Bell, San Francisco?
Tuesday, April 9th. According to Haley, that's on the weekend. Tuesday, April 9th. So make plans. 14 games remaining at Cashman Field. I think more heading into next season. I don't know if they'll open by April 9th. But they might have problems with like Big League Weekend and such out there at the new Las Vegas Stadium. I don't know if it'll be done. So the 51s on the second game of a 7-game road swing.
Would you knock it off?
And look at this tweet. We play too many road games. Like, we're really concerned. Wow. Every night, baseball players have to suit up. Haley Brooks,
Can
I
we
think
just
it's
go to
time
Haley?
to, yeah,
Yeah,
Can you
thank
hit Matt
God.
Bolt's comment real quick on the,
LVCVA?
no.
Go ahead.
Potential, I don't want to steal
you,
your thunder.
you know how to read. don't
No, yeah, go ahead. You can do it because he has
No,
a lot.
no.
He has a
Wait,
lot.
he asked
Will
the
you
question.
quit interfering?
He
Go
asked,
ahead.
do the Lights make a move after seeing the new stadium in Summerlin?
No, they
no.
stay there.
Their agreement is they're going to take over Cashman Field as their home ballpark or their home stadium. They're not a baseball team, and they're going to
At
add
their home
bleachers,
soccer ballpark.
pitch, their home pitch, soccer terminology. They're going to wrap the stands around the right field side so that they have a nice horseshoe around the soccer field. My guess is they'll take down the second level of fencing out there in the outfield so that you can utilize those berms out there again. But no, they will not be moving to Summerlin. Cashman Field will continue to be their home stadium.
Haley.
Ready for our winner?
We're ready.
Yeah, we need winners.
And no
All right.
comments on the way out?
I mean, do you want some?
Winners.
If they're only good. Only good
If
ones.
they're only good? Well, if they're only good,
I'm a bandwagoner.
Brian Danis, I would think it's Denise, joined us in, and he said there will be an NBA team here before an MLB team.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
There's that. Matt Bolt said LVCVA paid for the naming rights. Come on, guys. That's why it would be Las Vegas.
That's what I said. Yes.
Yeah, so we've got that. Jake Gifford, speaking of the A's, is it possible that they move to Vegas because of their ballpark issues, or is expansion more likely?
Good question.
Well,
it's going to be. Go ahead.
So Oakland banked on the A's, not the Raiders, right? That's what at least that's what Libby.
They have to try to keep someone
was
there.
banking on.
I mean, they're losing the Warriors.
But they're doing a really bad job
Right,
of
exactly.
keeping them there is the thing.
Yeah, that was what I was going to get to. But yeah, I mean, supposedly the A's will stay in Oakland. Supposedly they will get whatever they want out there, but if they drop the ball, I think it's a possibility, right? Let's just take all of Oakland's teams.
Oakland's
Warriors
shooting themselves.
Why don't
in
we
the
move
foot.
the Warriors?
Are gone. Warriors are moving.
San
They're
Francisco.
building a new arena in
Right,
San
so
Fran,
what-
currently
right,
under
Golden
construction.
State, yeah, I got
So they're gone to the other side of the bay. The Raiders are gone to Vegas.
It's not the Oakland Warriors.
The A's
Copy
are.
that.
I don't know.
This is a tripod, by the way. I'm just.
What are you doing? You're like
Oh, yeah, Chris William
Yeah,
Wynn
I know.
wanted to
It's a
know if you
tripod.
had nunchucks.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm halfway there. It's in my hand now. Just a quick little bop. Yeah,
That could work.
yeah. That was close.
Keep your
There was
space.
a good one, too. Matt Bolt said, this was a little while back, but speaking
Suplex
of
you.
Ron,
Oh, suplex
Ron
you.
Hoffman, Ron's working the poll again. Go Eagles. I don't know why, but he said it.
Who's our winners?
So
Haley?
yeah,
was
give us a
great.
couple of winners, and then we'll
right,
contact them
so-
via the DM route, I guess, or
Yeah, we'll send you a message.
We'll send,
Yeah.
we'll send a DM. We'll slide into the DMs. So, do I get a drum roll? Do I get a drum roll?
Sure.
All right, most comments. Ron Hoffman.
Yeah.
What a shocker! Yay!
Are you counting the Z's?
Yeah, the
I think
most
even
posts.
without the Z's, he's well ahead. It was
Yes.
it was Ron, Tracy, and Matt were in the running for most comments, but Matt Bolt is also best comment with his "Stay Greasy Philly" comment that got
Stay greasy.
four,
I like
Stay
it.
greasy.
four laughy faces. So thanks for playing, guys.
Too easy.
Wow,
Stay greasy.
Come back next week. This
congratulations.
was amazing.
So those winners each will be receiving 4-packs. Ring Warriors Wrestling at
Those tickets
Samstown.
aren't cheap, right?
Yeah,
I
they
mean-
are cheap. They're like $10 each.
Oh, okay. Never
yeah.
mind.
August 8th and 9th.
Right, hey,
Warriors.net.
4-pack is $40.
Yeah, bring the kiddos. It's great. So looking forward
We'll
to.
be out there, right?
Yeah, we'll all be out there. Wednesday night, I think we'll go out. And then I think I'm doing something on Facebook Live on Thursday, in which I said, just suplex me. I don't care. So our
in.
lineup again for Saturday's show on CBS Sports Radio, 11:40 a.m. Great show. Robert Walker will be joining us from U.S. Bookmaking, longtime bookie, legal bookmaker. Okay. He'll
sounds
talk
shady,
about this
right?
landmark agreement between MGM Resorts International and the NBA. We have former Rebel football player and current Miami Dolphin in the secondary, Torrey McTyer, and Ring Warriors guest, the belt collector, Austin Aries, will join us on Saturday morning in the 9 o'clock hour. We air from 8 to 10 a.m. Tune in on CBS Sports Radio. And don't forget about the 10th of August, right?
Get out.
Legacy Stadium.
Let's go. Legacy
Come on out and
Stadium,
join
Raiders,
us.
Lions,
You could make your
Drinks,
comments
food.
to us live.
giveaways.
In your face. They can comment in your face.
Ron, come
Ron's
on
going to
out.
show up in a Bronco jersey, I have a feeling.
We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Our executive producer, Richard Giacovino, producing
Great
this
rundown, great
extravaganza. It is. It's been an extravaganza. Of course, we'd like to thank Luis Negretti for not showing up tonight.
Thank you, Luis.
Woo!
And for Matt Gutierrez, for John Castanino, I'm Tony Cardasco. Good night from Las Vegas. You've been tuned in to the Sports Adrenaline Las Vegas.
Thanks for
show.
watching.
And Haley.
Hi.
Thank you, Haley.
Oh, you're welcome.
I left you out of the closing credits.
All in a day's work. Yeah, thanks.
Sorry. We're just proud to be a part of Haley's show. Good night.